For more information on today's program, contact Erica Taylor Montgomery at threegirlsmedia.com. Now, back to Punch, Media and Marketing Made Easy, on the Bay Area's business leader, AM 1220 KDOW.
Welcome back to Punch, Media and Marketing Made Easy on 1220 AM KDOW, the Wall Street Business Network, where we help you punch through your competition and deliver a total knockout with your public relations, your marketing, your social media, and more. You can actually visit us online to get more information on today's topics on the Punch Marketing blog, and you can also find the archives of all of our past shows at punchmarketing.biz. That's punchmarketing.biz. I'm your host, Erica Taylor Montgomery, and we're talking about thought leadership and how you can develop your voice. Our guest is Claudine Hanani with the Hanani Group, and you can find Claudine online at thehananigroup.com. So, Claudine, one of the things that I want to talk about is people who are in a position of either being a business owner or a manager or entrepreneur who really feels like they don't have unique ideas. I mean, there are some people out there who just feel like they don't have the creative juices flowing. And when it comes to thought leadership, I would think that having some unique ideas might be important, but then again, it may not be critical. What are your thoughts on that?
I don't think it's critical. As we said, it's a conversation. It's nice if you do, and I think you probably have more unique ideas than you recognize. As a business owner, I recommend my clients start with their leadership team. Always, two minds working together is 3x productivity. So sit with your leadership team and brainstorm ideas for 15 minutes, or your partner, or even your spouse or a friend, and just begin to just work through the ideas conversationally. I think if sitting in front of a piece of paper with a pen can be daunting for some people because it's this performance anxiety in some senses almost. So just start the conversation with some other people. If I sat down with most business owners or entrepreneurs and said, what kind of projects have you been working on lately? Or why did you get into this business? Or what are you really passionate about? Or what are your clients passionate about? Or what need are you helping to serve? Right there, we probably have 5 things to talk about in each of those questions. So I think that verbalizing it, I think, is a very helpful way for people to get at it, and capturing your concepts that way is the first start to really think about, all right, now how do we put this into a place where people can read it?
Sure. And let's talk about reading specifically, which generally requires somebody to write something or produce something. And certainly there are business owners, managers, and entrepreneurs out there that don't feel like they are a good writer or that they can really write professionally and show themselves off in a good light. So what recommendations do you have for people who are in that category who don't like to write or don't feel that they're a good writer?
Well, I think there are a few ways. If take an honest assessment, and if you think you lack the skills, you can secure the help of a ghostwriter. I think the first step, really, as I say, is conversationally. If you really recognize what's out there in the blogging atmosphere, it's not Hemingway quality work. It's really easy to read. It's providing content for someone outside of your industry potentially, so you really don't want to make it incredibly complex or intricate. So you're speaking to a wide audience. It needs to be informal and conversational and easy for a wide audience to read. And if you really believe that you need some help cleaning it up, the environment is full of quality writers that will help you. You can really, and if you want to engage someone on an ongoing basis to really be the voice for your brand and your firm, it can be done, I think, fairly economically when you really look at the ROI on that kind of a thing.
That's absolutely true. And that's actually one of the services that my PR and social media management agency handles for our clients is we do write their content for them when it comes to either social media, their e-newsletters, or blogging for them. And we become the voice of their brand on their behalf. And we really take great pains to really learn that their business and what their voice is and how they want to portray that to the marketplace. And we really try to hone that. But, when it comes to things like blogging, for example, I think a lot of people get stuck because they feel like they have to write this dissertation or something. And, really the best blogs are only 350 to 500 words, which is less than a 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper. We're talking less than one page, 3 to 4 paragraphs tops. And if you can put down, 3 to 4 paragraphs into in a conversational manner and use that to start creating some content, and it's even shorter for social media, you're going to be in good shape. And like you said, you can hire somebody very, very affordably to either edit your work for you if you need an editor and want to make sure it's polished and professional, or you can hire somebody to do it completely for you. And we do all of those things at Three Girls Media. So Claudine, let's talk about some results. How do you think that a small business owner or entrepreneur or a manager can really measure results when it comes to their voice development and thought leadership?
Well, I think if you're posting material on your site, I think if you've got a good development team, you have the opportunity to not just look at traffic, because that really doesn't give you a sense of the ROI, but I think you'd like to build in a call to action in alignment with your ongoing communications on your site, and really take a look at conversions and have a drive to action, and really work with your development team to evaluate what's really happening on your site, what pages are being viewed, how much time, and really drill down into some specifics beyond just sort of the general concept of how much traffic are we getting. I think in terms of using other people's blogs to present yourself, it becomes a little more difficult if you become a source for a journalist who writes an article that lands in the Huffington Post or a trade publication, an online trade publication of yours. You'll be developing a presence for yourself, but I will say this. You need to look at every initiative and think about the 5 different ways you can use it. And what I mean by that is if you pitch yourself to a journalist and become a source in a story of theirs, which would really only require them calling you and having a conversation for you to give them some ideas for an article they're writing, you have the opportunity then to post that on your website, to send it out to your clients if you wanted to in some sort of, quick blast and say, hey, there's some really cool stuff I talked about relating to planning for 2013. It's here. And so you've got an opportunity to use anything you create probably 4 or 5 different ways if you put some creativity against it.
Absolutely. And I'm all for leveraging material to its maximum potential, whether that's posting it on your website, your social media platforms, your blog, putting out a video about it, doing something in your e-newsletter or direct marketing about it. I mean, there are so many different ways that you can really leverage your content and the things that are produced, whether it's a story that you work on with a journalist or whether it's just content that you're producing on your own.
I think you're very right. And once you get a little bit into this space, I think the ideas will come to you readily. Once you start to think in these terms of something just happened, now what do I do with it? Because it's the essence of productivity is to make something work for you in 4 or 5 different ways. So any success you have with a client immediately has legs in 3 or 4 other areas. And you're helping your clients when you promote them, and you promote yourself as a solution provider to your clients. So it really, it just becomes the intricate spider web of service to your clients and to prospective clients as well.
That is so smart, and I absolutely agree. And, one of the things that we were talking about just a minute ago is learning your website traffic and really drilling down into your content and finding out specifically which pages are the ones that are being most visited, how long people are staying on those pages. Where is your traffic coming from? Is it largely mobile? Is it largely, laptops? What devices people are using? There is so much data that you can get, and a great way to do that is using Google Analytics. And you can set that up in less than 10 minutes to collect data on your website. All you have to do is go to google.com /analytics, and you can set that up on your website very, very easily, and the data that it provides is just amazing. We're talking about thought leadership, how you can develop your voice as a business owner or entrepreneur. Our guest is Claudine Hanani of the Hanani Group, and when we come back from the break, we're going to talk a little bit about branding and thought leadership and the relationship between the two. You're listening to Punch, Media and Marketing Made Easy on 1220 AM KDOW. I'm your host, Erica Taylor Montgomery, and we'll be right back.